Ekigambo okuyamba ndokizanyisa abangi babeera n'obusobozi n'ekibalema okukola abamu be mulaba abanene mu nsi muno bakunyumiza gyavudde zikubamu ne zaaka abangi kwabo bafiirwako abazadde ku myaka emimpi ddala wamma tunuulira obulumi abalala basalawo n'okuddukira ku nguudo kubanga basigalawo okubayamba ababeesamba nammwe abayamba mumanyi okwefuula eri abo be muyambye ne mubasimbamu oluseke eriyo ne bendabye abalaga okulumirirwa ne bajja ng'abayamba nga beenoonyeza byabwe
Oh yes, it's once another day like the other. Welcome to the Afroden reports. It's been a while, and then we felt it's a question of discussion, which is really catchy. Mostly the fact that it's a season where we feel areas like this are supposed to be catchy. A topic of discussion today, where we're looking at the diaspora influence in the Ugandan elections. And that's where we're leaving a question to you, the viewers, where we shall be wanting basically your, intervenience, or I mean, we want you to involve into discussion in a beautiful way that this is building one another. By the slogan of Afroden Reports, that sharing is caring, we believe by you sharing with your opinions, as we share too, we are doing something great to our nation and we're building. So the question of discussion today is very simple, seeming to be difficult to some, but by the end of this discussion with my guest, I think it would be the most easy to deal with. It will be more of segments of this, but the question at hand is, can the diaspora shape the Ugandans' political future without the voting power? So just call a friend, and a friend, let them know that Afroden Reports is live on Facebook right now, and simultaneously also on YouTube. Just go in Afroden Reports. So try to share the link, let your friends know, call a friend and let them know that Smoggy, aka Smog, has come back with another interesting area of political interest. But then again, we can't go ahead without letting you know my guest is Bwana Eddie Cool, based in Denmark. The gentleman you see here seeming to be humble by virtue of the smiles. We shall see where his humbleness are. But Mr. Eddie Cool, it's been a while. We haven't been talking, but every time we kind of interrupt, every time we try to exchange, ideas, I see a lot of content you have to share, which is, capacity building, which is really building. And I felt you could properly sit in this area of discussion so that we can get your words of wisdom. Bwana Eddie Cool is based in Copenhagen, Denmark. Musoga mwine, oh no, wenalese. So I'm the kind of person who doesn't love to profile my guests. I feel more comfortable when they mess it up by themselves. if they feel like. But the area is, I love my guests to profile themselves, and then we see the way forward. Bwana Idkul, you're welcome to the talk show today, and may you just say hello to our viewers and let them know who Idkul is.
Oh, thank you so much, Afroden, to host me on this critical show. It's a very interesting show which has a lot of education programs. Actually, call it edutainment because there's also entertainment. I always watch.
True.
And this is my first time I'm coming on this, and it's based in the diasporas. I also want to add my voice to what you do and also what is happening at home in Uganda. I'm an Ugandan, born and raised in Uganda. I'm a Msoga by tribe. Though I grew up in a situation whereby tribes were not a thing by then, I just grew up, and only later I knew I was a Msoga because I'd grown up in Msoga. So I'm based here in Denmark. In Uganda, I'm a farmer. I'm based in, I come from Chigulu North, Naivili Navitende. Apparently, I'm based in Bufula, that is in Budondo. I practice farming, and I'm practicing farming the old way. When I say the old way, that is minus. These are the what we call them, drugs that give us a lot of illness in the end.
So you're basically organic.
Organic. That's
organic.
It's not called organic. It's called the old way, or the body's way. It's called the body's way. Yes. And farming is very good, but our people realize they've not been given the opportunity to grow. Why? Because they're not given any information. People don't know what to do. They don't know what to grow. So they just grow things the way they see the other one is growing, and that is it. And they're growing the same things every day. They're not looking at the market, what is marketable. Yeah, and that's why you see some people run away from the village, from the farming, and run to the cities to drive border, or even to do business, and which business, again, in the end, is not working. Whereas if they were in farming, like what I intend to do, farming is very good because it gives you what you want when you want it. And then one thing I learned that our people don't know, you can set your own price, especially when you grow things the body's way. You set your price, Yes, because it's very expensive. You put in a lot of work, and it's very nutritious. It's very healthy. Very, very healthy. So you set your price, and the things. What I realized, anything grown the body's way is it has an already market, and it's special to those who know it. And prices are not negotiable.
I get, yeah.
Prices are not negotiable.
Yes, in Denmark, organic, we call it ecologisk, of which I know Bwana Idkul is really certain with this. But as we go ahead, just a quick reminder, tell a friend that we're live on Facebook and at the same time on YouTube on African Reports, and then keep on sharing. We believe sharing is caring is a slogan on African Reports. But where by virtue of the weather outside, it's 16 degrees Celsius, Copenhagen, Denmark, and just remaining something like 130 days, and then we wrap up the year. So I always leave a question to my viewers or friends that, hey, are you still aware that the year is almost done? And are you still in shape with what you promised yourself? But then a question like that always stays with the individuals. So the topic of discussion today is just looking into the diaspora influence
Afroden what?
Afroden reports.
Afroden reports.
Afroden reports, yeah.
Somebody was asking me here, right?
Yeah, you can go on Facebook, it's Afroden reports.
And on YouTube?
On YouTube, still it's Afroden reports, live and kicking. Away from that, let's, I think, go direct to our area of discussion. I'll start with the simple rider, and then we shall kickstart the show. And here we go with the rider, and then we see.
We will improve your lives. Yes. On behalf of the Right Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi, a man that is well known, a competent man, not only in Uganda, but internationally.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
CMP. Common Man's Campaign Manifesto Nene. Nenja kuita munaku ekikumi zokka. Nga tukutte obuyinza ekisooka ngenda kujja Uganda mu East African Community. Ogamba tukola akatale akawamu ne Kenya ng'eyo yeeyina by'ereeta wano gwe tolina by'otwala waabwe oba olimba.
The 2026 presidential campaign in Uganda is officially underway as both the ruling party and leading opposition forces take landmark steps. On August 19, the National Resistance Movement, NRM, unveiled President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as its candidate for the January 2026 election. His official campaign portrait was reviewed by senior party figures, signaling the beginning of the campaign period. Meanwhile, opposition parties have mobilized swiftly. On August 18, the National Unity Platform NUP and the Democratic Party formally entered the race, with key figures picking up presidential nomination forms from the Electoral Commission. Electoral Commission statistics show the number of presidential hopefuls have surged. By late last evening, 177 candidates had collected forms.
Yes, away from our rider, it's quite interesting. There's 170 something candidates who have come in to pick nomination forms, but by Friday, it raised up to 205 individuals who have felt that there's need to have to participate into these presidential elections by being nominated. So they want to be the presidents of the next, the next term. But then the question also rises a lot when people ask, is it really called for 105 individuals trying to pick forms, to stand in for presidential elections? But Mr. Eddie Cool,
yeah,
we have a number of.
There is music in the background,
which is okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm listening.
By Friday, we had over 205 individuals picking nomination forms. I'm not so certain of the number which is going to come back to return the forms. But what really echoes in your world when you hear such a big number? Because for a while, it has never been globally having such a big number internationally. What echoes in your world when you just look at such figures? What does it reflect on our political environment back home?
Now, thank you for that question. Let's look at, instead of just looking at what is happening, why are there so many right now? How have we been running? Some years ago, especially when we are young, when I was a little boy, leaders had a lot of respect. They commanded a lot of respect in the communities. Leaders, those people who call leaders, we used to look at them as role models. By then, seeing only a government inspector, it was a very big thing that the government inspector is coming into an area. We're talking about a government inspector.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are talking about a town clerk moving around. That was also a very, very big thing by then. They had value, they had respect, and they were working for the good of the country. But things have been changing with the time, especially when the NRM came into power, and everything gets so messed up. Its leadership is vulgarized. Being a leader, being a minister, being a whatever in Uganda, it was so vulgarized that they have no respect. Anybody can be a minister, anybody can be a president, anybody can be a member of parliament. Now that we got to that level whereby everything was vulgarized, and the recent change in constitution to remove age limit, then it gave everybody a chance, the young and the old. Anybody can, even somebody who is on a deathbed, 90 years of age, 150 years, who can't even speak, can also stand for being a member of parliament. A little child who has just been born can also say, I'm also standing to be a member of parliament, or I'm standing to be a president of Uganda. Now, there are no benchmarks.
Well, I think we've gotten some bit of internet interruption from my brother. I guess we've been having some interruption, and then let's just have something very simple, but just keep on calling your friend and let them know that we're having a political discussion where we're looking at the diaspora influence on the Ugandan elections. Question at hand here is, can the Ugandans in the diaspora, given the fact that with their remittances they've contributed financially, would they be of any choice? I think it's back again. Yeah, it's just some technical interception from his side. I think it should be internet, which is very okay, because in Uganda we say ekyuma ky'omuzungu kisobola kuswaza essaawa zonna, but it is what it is. Brother Eddie, welcome again. I guess you're busy slicing,
I think,
you're busy slicing the numbers that involved in the picking of the nominations and what it reflects on the political side. Is it something shaming, or it shows wonders? So back to you, sir.
I think it's both. It's not. There's nothing shaming about it. The way how things are in Uganda today, there's nothing shaming in Uganda. Anything is possible.
I think it's better if you have a gadget to first mute it, because it's trying to echo.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it is nothing shaming. If there's anything shaming, everything is shaming in Uganda. You know, everything is shaming in Uganda. So there's nothing shaming about this. Somebody can easily go and walk in town naked, and he doesn't care. You know, the culture has really changed. We don't have that moral fiber that used to hold us behind. The culture of respect, the culture of knowing boundaries. We don't have that culture of knowing boundaries. You know? So basically, when you see that we've come to this, it's because everything has been vulgarized, and it also goes to the leadership that has been around for some time, and it tells you that the country could be headed to the dogs at some point in time. You know,
It's true. It's true.
yeah. When you want any services anywhere, you go to a place expecting a service, you're not getting any services anywhere. It's not easy to get services. You know, so everything is in its own direction, in that nobody can understand which direction the country is taking.
But then
So
again,
it's like everything has gone to the dogs. Everybody does whatever they want to do.
What if someone comes out and says that actually this youngster, Bobby Wine, is of an impact to that area of discussion, to see these big numbers coming up because, you know, he has created more awareness? Can we say that the role played by this youngster, Bobby Wine, can also be evident in terms of results? We are seeing people picking nominations in such big numbers.
That is very, very true. Bobby Wine has echoed exactly what is happening in the country. He has been very loud, and he's telling everybody that anybody can stand up and everybody can be elected a president. Anybody can stand for elective politics anywhere. And the youth are coming up in very big numbers. You know, unlike before. People were not bothered. The youth were not so bothered about it. But so if you say Bobby Wine is part of it, of course, yes, he is. He's played a very big part in that. And when people saw Bobby Wine, actually, there are some leaders, I'm not going to mention names, some of those other leaders coming up with other political parties right now, it's because they are envious. They see, how does Bobby Wine do it? If Bobby Wine can do it,
why not?
I can also do it. Why not me?
I get it. Yes. To the viewers who have just joined up, it's Afroden Reports, and with me is a guest from Copenhagen, Denmark, Brother Eddie Ngobi Musajja Musoga, and is the guest of today, sharing his wisdom in that line of diaspora involvement into the Ugandan elections. That's where we had a question of discussion where we're asking you, the viewers, can the diaspora, given the fact that it's, financially making its contributions, but can it actually be of any impact? Can they even vote? So we're just leaving this question so that we see how we can engage. But then let's go to GR number 2. And in this line, I would love to just ask the same question, which is just running. Mr. Edipool, let's just go direct to this area of the diaspora contribution. Why do you think the diaspora is still politically active despite not being able to vote?
Oh, the diaspora is very, very active, and it has to be, and it will be, because of its investments back at home. The diaspora send a lot of money in Uganda. They finance a lot. Actually, most of the money, you can find that diaspora money is doing a lot to the government in Uganda. We send a lot of money to the government. We send a lot of money to our people. And this money has a very big impact in the economy. So if the diaspora, for once, they say we're not sending money at home, the government is going to be so much affected. But here is the problem. The government looks at the diaspora as partners in business. But when it comes to governance, government looks at partner at the diaspora with suspicion. With suspicion.
Yeah.
Yes. They say you send us your money, we want the money, yes. But when it comes to governance, no. They don't want you there. And that's the lapna. That is something we need to really look at. We need to interrogate it. Why should I send my money? And when it comes to governance, you don't want me to talk about it. You don't want me to see anything about it. The money we send, or the diaspora send at home, that money is meant to do quite a lot in helping, in uplifting the livelihood of our people. But if government is using it for other things, then that is where there is a big problem. And today, my diasporan friends and brothers and sisters, I would call them to be very much involved into these coming elections and any other election, right from the grassroots up to the top, because it affects them directly. The money they sent at home, the life they want their people to lead, the people will never lead it when we have poor governance or people who can't manage a country.
But then again, one would ask, where would they zero up? Basically, in which positions should we zero up? People like us who are in the diaspora, should we only be limited to parliamentary and then presidential positions? Because I mean, when we're not felt, we don't feel the ground exactly. But at least when we're talking about the parliamentary and then the presidential, I feel that's where we're more focusing. Do you really feel our involvement should also go up to the grassroots?
I think the grassroots is the best. When we go to parliamentary and presidential, we are missing the point. These parliamentarians are very few, and the presidents are also very few to vote. The grassroots are the people who hold the vote. The grassroots are the people who are beneficiary of a good government. You know, but you find that our people have been blindfolded in what is going on in the country. Let me tell you this. You asked me this question, but I think you would have reframed it. Are our people in Uganda civically prepared for an election or whatever election that comes by? The answer is no. There is no civic education. People don't know their basic rights. In schools, they used to teach civic education, but today they are not teaching civic education in schools anymore.
And
books that talk about politics and governance are not there. And any force that comes up to empower people civically is crushed. It's called a rebel group. They call you a rebel. You know? Here is the thing. The 1985 Constitution states that the power belongs to the people. But our people don't even know this Constitution. So how does power belong to them? How? Tell me how. How does power belong to a person who doesn't know the content of that document? The document was never translated into languages. It's only a few people, and even some elites don't know the Constitution of Uganda. They don't know. You know? And especially when the school system is being changing all the time. Most of them are very much ignorant. Now, where would my focus be? My focus would be interested in the local person. To tell this local person, look here, you are going for elections. For what? Why should you elect anybody? Why should you elect anybody? To do what? They come to you with a message, we're going to do this for you, we're going to do this for you, we're going to do this for you. But they are only trying to tell you lies. They are coming to you because they want to use you as a ladder for them to go and be able to make a living for themselves. Leadership and politics in Uganda has become a source of income. It's one of the biggest employers in Uganda right now.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You know, ask yourself a question. If you're really going to represent me, why should you fight over it? You even kill other people because of representing me or representing us.
That means there's something fishy you're going to do.
Something is grossly wrong. It tells you something is grossly wrong. You know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you come with money to give me money. Vote for me, vote for me. Why should you buy me to vote for you? Now, that is the thing that the grassroots must understand. If they know that, if, the people you are voting are meant to be your servants to go and work for you. They don't pay you. Hey, where on earth does somebody looking for a job come to you and pay you so that he can work for you in your garden? No. Tell me something. I want to look after your cattle, sir. I'm here. Yeah. I want to look after your cattle. My name, sir. I want to look after your cattle. And I'm giving you this amount of money for you to allow me to look after your cattle. Can you accept such a person?
Where on earth does this work? Yeah, true.
Now, here we are. You know, what is Ugandans should know that whatever is going on is a sham. It's a sham. You know, I don't even see why government would use, the current government should use a lot of money into something that is which is a sham. Some of the outcomes are known, and thereafter nothing else happens, but they're using quite a lot of money. This money that is being used into these elections, it will do a lot of developments in so many areas. You know, so if the diaspora, like me and you and others, would talk to their people they are sending money to tell them not to go and get 2,000 or 5,000 Ugandan shillings, or even 10, or even $1 million to go and vote anybody. Because they are selling themselves. They are selling their souls. You know? Let them, if they are going to vote for anybody, let them look at somebody who is presentable, somebody who knows their problems, and who can deal with them. You know, who can deal with those issues. But whoever is coming, because they have money, they go and buy some documents somewhere, means they are Kwesimbawo nange. But the Kwesimbawo has turned into, when they are elected, they go and start selling government property, like land. You know, steal government drugs, hospital drugs, to sell them elsewhere, to enrich themselves. You know, programs that are brought in by the government, they take money out of it for themselves. Let me tell you what is happening in Uganda. These people we voting to go into parliament, all of them, they get money through some deals. That's why they fight so much to be in parliament. Those elected on councils, whatever, village or whatever it is, it's because they know there is something they are going to get around there. It's not for free. It's not like it was like all the times, whereby you would elect somebody with integrity, and somebody who cared, and somebody who already had something to show. You know, so Our diasporan brothers and sisters, if they want their people to be well, it's not only about sending money, but let them help them to tell them exactly how governance is done, or how a country, or what they expect from their country.
Mr. Edikul, you're talking about now the leaders.
But we send money. Yeah.
You're talking about the leaders,
Yes.
the nature of the leaders we have to consider. But then again, how do those leaders perceive the people in the diaspora? Case in point, you say the government looks at us as frenemies in a way that when it comes to business, we align well. But when it comes to governance, they can do whatever it's possible, at least to take us away from this involvement. Yet, if you look at the Constitution, yes, when you look at the Constitution, that is Article 59 of the Constitution of Uganda, it provides every citizen of Uganda who is 18 and above of age is ordered to have the right to vote, and it doesn't limit the citizens from the physical presence or I mean it doesn't matter the locality or anywhere. For as long as you're Ugandan, you're entitled to vote. But now our leaders, like basically the government, you echoed it well, that they look at us as enemies when it comes to governance. Then my area of interest is here. Then how do the opposition leaders, perceive the diaspora political involvement?
Oh, the opposition, they look at the diaspora as they are very good, they're allies. First and foremost, they look at them as their allies. First and foremost, firstly, there are some diasporans who left Uganda due to political persecution so many years ago. In the Obote regime, Amin's regime, others in Museveni's regime, we have those ones, the political. Then we have others who came for economical reasons who are here, and others who are promoting, who really say it as it is that is happening in Uganda. They echo what the opposition is saying in Uganda to the rest of the world. And the opposition looks at it that now these people are working for us. These are our friends. And the diasporans also fundraising, sending money to some of these opposition groups like NUP, FDC. They fundraise money and they gave them a lot of money. So that is how the opposition look at the diasporas as their allies. They will say exactly what is going on at home. They will send money to them to boost their activities. Funding oppositional activities. A lot of money is coming from the diasporas. Recently, some years ago, BSJ used to come to Europe and other places. He used to get a lot of money to fund FDC. It was a lot of money funding FDC from the diasporas. Today it's NUP. NUP is getting a lot of money from the diasporas to fund. So that is how the opposition looks at it. And then when we speak, there are some of us who can speak to government officials in countries where we are to tell them some things that are happening in Uganda. So they look at us as the allies. That is how the opposition looks at the people in the diasporas. Although they will not also let you get so much involved in so many things, because they also have some other underhand things, that hidden agendas that they don't want you to know.
I get it. Yeah. Mhm.
No, I'm telling you, it's both ways. There are certain things and some areas where you will not know. Yeah? Because now the issue at hand is everybody for himself. That is what happens in Uganda. You know. So when they get something from you, immediately they get it. Now they've got something from you. Don't ask questions. I don't know if you're getting it.
I understand.
Just as it is with the ruling government, that is also how it is with the opposition. Immediately you give them the money, they will not. Your input is. They don't want to get your input. No. We are okay. We can manage this. We can manage, but money keep sending. You know.
Wow. What a submission. And to the viewers, we are live on African Reports, both on YouTube and Facebook concurrently. And the topic of discussion is just looking at the influence of the diaspora onto the Ugandan politics. I mean, the Ugandan elections. That is basically, we're looking at 2026. To the viewers, just keep calling a friend and a friend, tell them that, yes, in Uganda tugambe ekintu kyatabuse dda. But then again, let them know that we're live and we're looking at issues here. In your contribution, it'd be much more, peaceful and interesting if you also share your opinion, you the viewers, and with the question which is running down there, which is saying, how do Ugandan leaders perceive the diasporan political involvement? For Eddie Cool, yes, he has stated well that with opposition, they look at us as allies in a way, while the government leaders, they look at people in the diaspora as allies when it comes to business, but when it comes to governance, they really don't. You can't put them in the same sack. They look at us as enemies. But then again, it also takes us to another area of interest where we're looking at the international advocacy. Because here, Eddie Cool, you've at least sliced it well when it comes to the financial bit of it, of the diaspora involvement. With time to the viewers, we shall also look into the civical part of it, civic awareness. But this for today, let's also just look at some other areas. Bwana Eddie Cool, we've seen lots of demonstrations happening. We've seen a lot of advocacy into the international bodies, and many a times we've seen people in the diaspora being of an impact. I would love to borrow your lenses at least to see what you see when it comes to the diaspora the diaspora contribution when it comes to international advocacy. But before we go ahead, let's have a little video that could maybe give us a good direction on one of the area where we saw the Ugandans here in Denmark, where they made an impact. Probably Eddie Cool will also throw more light on this. Let's just get a little clip here, and then we see. Yes. That was year 2021.
Freddy Semanda, Mutasa Ibrahim, Senchima,
People are being killed on the streets because of wanting change. So it's very sad. It's a sad moment.
How many of us are going to die because we want a better Uganda?
How sweet the sound
that say I rage like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Let us all take a minute of silence as we remember and respect all these innocent souls.
The government is ruining everything and killing people in a time when we are supposed to be happy and celebrating. Here in Denmark, lights are everywhere, even though we are in the middle of a pandemic, but still we can feel the Christmas spirit. But sadly, we cannot do that in Uganda.
Will my people in Uganda have Christmas this year? We have lost so many people. And the only reason for that is that they want to have a better future.
Kyagala okukujja mu ntebe na ammunition nga Saddam, Gaddafi, Mubaraka, Mobutu Sese Seko nzisanseka okuba mumanyi nti buli kyaggwe n'otekikopa so. Museveni, please, kula amatu to listen the truth, sticks of fruits. Bibadde betula mu ntalo oba guns and boots. Lwaki batutiisatiisa ne batons and troops ng'ate naabwe bwajjira mu military coups. Oyagala history oli yeddemu ekitta bantu n'ettemu. Twagala peaceful transition eddembe wamu n'obumu. So, Museveni, please.
Yes, and that was one of the area where I felt we should at least look at so that we can get direction to the next question. And yes, Eddie Cool has really sliced it well that yes, the financial contribution really is of impact when it comes to the election processes, when it comes to Uganda, both probably with the opposition side and also the other side of the government, because there's a way he said that business, they actually need us. But then again, let me drive this question relating to the that rider we had, that yes, Bwana Edikul, we're looking at the international advocacy. Would it replace the right to vote? Do you think it can shake tables? The diaspora, advocacy, the diaspora demonstrations, can it also shake tables in the electoral processes? And then again, do you think the government at times can hear? I throw this back to you.
Yeah, that is I think we in the diasporas miss the point. Let's first understand, who are we dealing with? What are we dealing with? Do we understand what we are dealing with? You can talk, you can say anything, and somebody will just look at you and go ahead and do whatever they want to do. It's like talking to somebody who is deaf. You only need to do, there's particular signs. There's somebody who can be deaf and dumb that you only need to touch them, then they can feel it. Now here for the government, for Uganda and the Ugandans in the diasporas, these demonstrations don't make any impact at all. They don't. We make noise, we do whatever we do, but they're just cosmetic. They're just massaging, and massaging the situation at home. It can't do much. I think if we redirect our efforts, that because we all come from somewhere, we come from villages, we have families, you know. If we could deal with our families and tell them, look here, if you people, I'm the one supporting you financially to do this and that, I'm even supporting you in everything. I'm telling you, when it comes to voting, don't vote these people who are abusing the system. Don't vote these people who are stealing our money. Don't vote people without integrity. And you tell them that if you people vote that kind of person, then I'll not keep on sending you money because that's the way you want to go. You know, that could do quite a lot because our people, they also want to survive. And they know you're the breadwinner. If you cut off the bread, then they'll not be able to survive. They will listen when you talk to them. But instead of talking to them, telling them about how life, the basics of life, actually, most importantly, it would be to educate or to enlighten our people about the basics of life. Somebody is entitled to certain basics as a person, right from childhood. But we don't tell them those things. Then we would tell them about governance, how they are meant to be governed. Today, in Uganda, getting Ndagamuntu, which is called the national ID, you have to pay money. It's a hassle. You know, it's a hassle. Whereas it's a basic right for every Ugandan to have an identification document.
Oh yeah.
But do you know there are some people who have never gotten one, ever since this system of identification started?
Very possible. Yeah.
Yes. Now these are things we need to tell our people to demand. Now, if you don't have Ndagamuntu, you can't do business. You can't do anything without Ndagamuntu. We have a system that is really, if I tell you about our system, really, it's laughable. You can have a passport, but if you don't have Ndagamuntu, you're in trouble. Then you ask them, look here, okay, I have a passport. It has all my information. Why can't I use it? They say, no, you need to have Ndagamuntu first. And you say, oh, fine, now I have a passport. Can I get Ndagamuntu? They will tell you, no, go and fill in documents, apply to get Ndagamuntu. I don't know if you're getting my point.
I get it.
Our people should get these things, to understand them, to demand from the government. Because our people, they can demand, but the problem that we have, our people have not been given the information. They are denied the information. Even the so-called politicians, to them when they campaign, they don't talk the real issues. They'll not talk about the ills of the government. But what is the genesis of all that? Because if you don't talk about the genesis of issues, then even you, whether you come into government, you will change nothing. You will change nothing. So we need to talk about real issues. Where is the problem? The problem starts from the grassroots itself.
So to you, it's of zero impact when diasporans they start to do demonstrations, or also they do their international advocacy.
That is cosmetic. That's just massaging the dictator.
The problem.
Yes, massaging the problem. Call it the massaging the problem. They could come up with do advocacy and come up with wonderful programs that could develop our people civically. I don't know if you're getting me. The money we send our people, that money is very useless because they're not civically empowered. They can't use it. That's why you'll keep on sending and sending and sending.
And it may not be of any impact.
It will not be of any impact. And for us in the diaspora, we're not looking at that. But if we would look at that and say, look here, hey, just a minute. Why isn't anything changing really? Then let's try something different. You know, let's try something different. Instead of just
but then
saying
again,
money.
But then again, Mr. Eddie Cool, we're trying to look at the people back home. And then how will the diaspora build a trust with the grassroots movements or back home, or the people back home? How they build a trust?
No, I'm going to use a statement which I think can be offensive to some of the diasporan people. And I'm very sorry for that. Not everybody in the diaspora is informed. So they just do things for the sake of doing things. They're not analytical. Many of us are not analytical. Because if we were analytical, we would do things with a great impact. You know, we would do things with great impact. We would team up, and we would be a force if we did team up. And we send money to projects, not just to our people, to my family, my own family, to your own family. But we send to projects that is going to develop the community in particular directions. But you see what we do here, when some people get money, they go into personal investments, very small personal investments. We can't even come up with a factory, an industry. We can't come up with an industry. We, the diasporans, whereas we have a lot of money. Because if we come up with projects like those ones, say, look here, the amount of money we are remitting in Uganda is going to be slashed. Let's save money to come up with a project that is going to develop our areas. Because if we develop our areas, then our people can be powerful. They will have something. They will have a backbone they will have we will have what, and we will also have a bargaining power, by the way.
That's true.
But yes, we will have bargaining power. But right now, we don't have bargaining power at all. If we put up industries somewhere, factories somewhere, something that is good for our people, and our people can benefit, employment, education, hospitals, and things like that, you will find that we will have a very big stake. Government will start respecting us more and more. At some point, they will reach a level and say, hey, I think we need a minister from the diasporas. But they look at us as very unserious people. All we are doing, we are not handling things strategically.
Oh, yeah.
Because right now you send money, the people are saying, where is this sent, whatever. That man is not going to be of a very big impact. But you send money that is going to transform the people, a community, that is going to be a very big impact.
Yes, talking about the financial element, and then the question which was aligning with the financial contribution, and then the international advocacy replacing the right vote as people in the diaspora to create an influence. Eddie Cool stand the tables upside down. It doesn't see so much, but then again, it is what it is. From the other side of the WhatsApp, to the call to the viewers, you can go through that also, that WhatsApp number, plus 456 902 902032. It's a WhatsApp number. You can always also send your messages to contribute with the topic of discussion and the question which are going on. You can also send in your you can also call direct on the same number, and then you can also be part of the discussion. And from also WhatsApp, there is brother George is saying that, let me just read it. He says the diaspora's influence is primarily felt through domestic family members because they lack the ability to directly influence elections. So for him, he looks at the diaspora that our impact is only felt on the domestic family impact, but not the other side because we lack the ability to influence elections. But then that's when topics like this are coming in to create more awareness, to see what can we do else so that we're also felt in the line of elections, or to create also an impact on the election back home. Still from also Facebook, we're seeing a lot of people online. Then there's also Bruno Suna from Amsterdam is saying yes, they're live and watching, and is watching from Netherlands. Lots of people are really online, and then we really do appreciate. Yes, but then again, this will throw us to another question of discussion, and after this, then we shall see where we shall be engaging. Yes, Bwana Eddie Cool.
Yes.
Our guest of today, his words of wisdom are really impactful. To some, they are wondering, musajja tukubyemu ebituli aba diaspora tetulina impact in terms of the. But then again, when you look when you zero on it, you can see his area of argument that it really holds water. Sometimes, if people are not aware of what's really going on, then we are still doomed in a way. But Mr. Eddie Cool, the year that was 2020, 2020. It was on 17th June, that was 2020, in the case of Kali Stephen versus the Attorney General and the Electoral Commission. The Uganda High Court held that the prisoners and the Ugandans in the diaspora have the right to vote, and the Electoral Commission should put in place the arrangements for them to vote. Yes, basing on the Constitution, I concur really to what the judgment that was held in that case, because when you look at the Constitution, Article 21, it guarantees the equality and the freedom from discrimination. And then Article 31, that's chapter 1, Articles 38, it states that every Ugandan civilian has the right to participate in the affairs of the government, individually or through their representations. Article 1, which is very powerful, it declares that the power belongs to the people. The power belongs to the people and shall be exercised by the people through regular, free, and fair elections. So this brings me to some understanding, which needs more clarity from you, Bwana Eddie Cool. Through that case of Kali versus the Attorney General and then the Electoral Commission, it was held that the Electoral Commission should arrange, electoral processes to also involve the people in the diaspora and the prisoners. Till now, nothing has been done. We're in 2025, and this was held in 2020. For some reasons, I know you'll try to enlighten us why things are slow like that. That they either don't respect courts or we just lack the finances. So my area of interest is here. If Justice the chairman of the Electoral Commission, if he was given the powers to process these elections, would you think there'll be a fair elections for the people in the diaspora and those in the prisons? Given the fact that they were looking at the consulates and then the embassies and the high commissions to be the electoral voting, areas for the people in the diaspora. What's your take on that?
My take on that, one, I didn't follow that case,
Mm-hmm.
but whoever put in that case was just wasting time. Let's start it from this way. Do we have an electoral commission in Uganda? And the electoral commission to elect who and for in whose interests?
Ugandans' interests.
Those are questions. The electoral body that we have, that is called electoral body, is somebody's instrument to do his work, not for Ugandans. Justice Byamukam and whatever it is. I laugh. I look at things and laugh. And the people say, so and so got these votes, so and so got these votes. No, so and so was given these votes. Not so and so got these votes. So and so was given these votes. I don't know. I wonder where Ugandans, and there's some Ugandans who have been around, they also look at it and say, no, Tugenda Kulonda, we are going to elect this time. This one is going to be out, it's going to be voted out. Who are you going to vote out? Who is organizing those elections? Now let's look at that. We don't have an election body that is going to carry out elections for the country. Even schools have better organized elections than the one which are national for Uganda. Byamukama was handpicked. If you look at his history, he's a man who participated in the case against Kizza Besigye, which was cooked somewhere, and Justice Katusi blasted them. If you remember very well. Now he is a man who lacks credibility. He lacks integrity. Let's start with that. How can such a man who went to lie, putting a case on somebody, which case was going to cause either to take somebody's life or to keep him in jail for so many years? And you think he has credibility? Now he's put somewhere to organize. Let's forget about his character. But of course, the characters of people in the Electoral Commission matters. Those people are answerable to somebody, not to Ugandans. Now, if you think those people are going to organize elections for the people in the diasporas and they be credible, you are just dreaming. Forget it. That cannot happen. Yeah, if the local elections have been a problem, what about the ones in the diasporas? They'll just get figures and say, in Denmark, we got 400 votes, and all were for NRM. Okay? In Sweden, we got 600 votes, all were for Chagulen. They'll just give, just do things. And this is what happens. Let me tell you this. Some years ago, And I blame this thing on some of our leaders. And Besigye made a very big mistake, by the way. Some years ago, some elections, I don't remember which election in particular. That election was computerized. They say they are being computerized. Byabakama was in Nambole, getting results on telephone. And the people who were in Nambole, including journalists, were asking, where is Byabakama getting these results? Because people were there on computers, were not seeing anything. Elections were being cooked somewhere in Agulu. Kano Besigye, I'm telling you, Kano Besigye gets to know about it. Now, what the Kano did, the Kano is a honorable man. Instead of mobilizing Ugandans at that time to go with Ugandans to go to that place in Agulu, he went with a handful of people to go and tell these people, you people, what are you doing? How do you go with a handful of people when the place was manned by armed men? So they went there in Agulu, where the results were being manufactured. And this is what happens anyway. It came out clearly recently in the Kawempe elections.
Oh, yeah.
And it has also, and then this other recent NRM elections has brought it out clearly what happens. Tango Doi was here making you announced this one. You announced this one. You announced this one. That is what has been going on. And that's what goes on in the national elections. You don't expect the president, Museveni, to organize an election that is going to get him out of the chair. No, he can't. That one, Uganda should forget about it. If they want to get Museveni out of the chair, one thing they would do is to vote these members of parliament. What these people are talking about, the protest vote, which some people don't understand, to go and safeguard the votes that are voted in every area and be followed up to the tally center, national tally center. But we are talking especially about the members of parliament in particular. Because if, for example, the people who have no faith in the government, I think we should change this word of opposition. There is no opposition in Uganda. There are people who don't have faith in the government. That is all. They're not opposition. They just don't have faith in the government. They don't have faith on the people who are on the eating table. So if we convince those people who don't have faith in the government to be very vigilant from the beginning up to the end, so that these members of parliament, they're overwhelmed by the people who don't have faith in the government, there could be something, But you see, yes, there could be something. But you see, already right now, they've already issued instructions. No radio station are going to air out elections results anywhere. What does that supposed to mean? They are telling you it's not your responsibility. You go and you vote and you forget about what the outcome. You don't follow it up. You don't even need to know. You only need to know what we give you.
So this is where now we come in. We people in the diaspora, what's our role towards this to create some bit of change or making some civic education? Given the fact that we have the platforms, we have the social media, because now you're talking about the mainstream media which has been denied the right, at least to say anything connected, talking about the results. So I want you to relate this to our topic of discussion, the diaspora influence into the Ugandan elections. Run me through the power of the social media on our usage with people in the diaspora into creating an impact onto the influence on the electoral processes.
That's a very good question, or very good topic you're bringing. You see, the people in the diasporas have a lot of time at some point in time, and then they have a lot of data they can use. It's easy for them to use a lot of data, and which data would be put to different better use, or in a particular use. I'm not going to say better, to use the word better, because it's their data and they know how they want to use it. But let them change. Instead of attacking each other the way we've been doing and seeing on social media, somebody abusing somebody, gossiping about so and so, somebody, quite a number of things that have been going on, which some of them are palatable, some of them are unpalatable, but it's their business and their right to air out whatever they want. But this could help them quite a lot, and it will help their people if they aired information that is pertaining to their development, and especially in this election, to their awareness, to know exactly what is going on and what is going to happen, so that they equip their communities. If we get our guys, our boys and girls who are on TikTok, Facebook, and we speak the same language to tell our people that, look here, in whatever language we have, because we have languages as well, in our languages, in language that people can understand, I'm telling you, it's going to cause a tsunami, because that information is going to be consumed. That information will be consumed, and people will be part of it, and it will be the order of the day. If we tell the people that, look here, whatever is coming up, apparently these elections, these people are talking about, they are not about you, it's about them keeping themselves into power. It's elections for the few who are going to keep you in your state of poverty and impoverishment that you are in. Already you see the junta, or the ruling government, has brought up their slogan, or campaign slogan, saying we are protecting the gains. Our gains. Whose gains? Whose gains?
Ugandan gains, probably.
Let me speak for the region where I come from, Busoga, and especially Jinja. Which gains are we talking about? Poverty? We've been impoverished. So we should celebrate poverty, impoverished. Being impoverished. Is that what we should do? We should safeguard. Huh? That is obnoxious. Huh? No, that's obnoxious. I mean, how do you tell me to celebrate the suffering I'm in right now? I grew up in Jinja. I was born and raised in Jinja. Let me bring in this. Jinja, I grew up, it was the industrial town of East Africa, not Uganda. It was the industrial town of East Africa. There was a lot of activity going on in Jinja. There was a lot of money. We could afford, everybody could afford going to school, doing what, electricity, name it. Today, Jinja is nearly a ghost town. The industries that were there were destroyed. The industries that were in Jinja were destroyed. You get it? Activity in Jinja now comes to sugarcane. The sugarcane is being decided by these other factories like Ivana and others. They decide. There is no Musoga who is owning a sugar industry in Musoga. But somebody is owning, you know, I mean, now, should the people in Musoga really celebrate that and say we are protecting this? You know, we should tell Uganda should be very bitter. Uganda should be very, very bitter. Ugandans have, quite a number of Ugandans are very bitter, but they are lacking information. Others are just give up. You know?
Yeah. I think we're having some. I think we're having some internet interruption from your side, and yes, to the viewers, just a reminder: hey, you can always leave your comments through you can through the comments, and then you can keep on sharing, because the more you share, and also let us know where you're coming from, and then we know how best we can render our services onto you from your different localities. But we keep on thanking you for being with us on African Reports, where we believe sharing is caring is our slogan, and the more you share, the more we learn from one another. Yes, a topic of discussion today is about the diaspora influence onto the Ugandan elections. I think we shall be having more segments of this. Yes, my brother, the guest from Copenhagen is Eddie Kul Ngobi, and he has been, Ngobi. He has been having some little interferences with the internet, which is very okay. We've always encountered such challenges. But then again, we just keep on thanking you for being with us. Every time we come, we surface, and your contribution really hold a lot of water. Yes, to the viewers, you can also communicate those with WhatsApp. You can also send a message on that number, and then yes, so that we can get also your involvement in this discussion, where we see the diaspora involvement. Yes, time has never been so much on our side, but as we go on, we shall be wrapping it up very soon. But then again, before we go ahead, let's have some bit of humor, and then I'll ask a little question to Bwana Eddie, and then we shall be looking at it as a wrap, because yes, we don't want to keep you dormant, but let's have some bit of energy to create some humor, and then we see the direction where we're going.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. That was one of the moments we had way back in that was 2016, 15, I think. Yeah, way back. That was Kadaga when she came. By then, when she was the Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda, where she came to grace the Uganda independence. In line with that, yes, if you're seeing the bands down there, we're seeing the Uganda independence. The news just came on my table, and then it was saying the Ugandans in the diaspora, the Uganda diaspora, the Uganda diaspora in Denmark presents the Uganda independence. Where she the Uganda independence. If it's possible, that Mr. Eddie. Thank you very much. Yes, yeah, I was just saying that the news that came in my desk right now. It was saying that Ugandans in the diaspora in Denmark presents the Uganda Independence Day celebrations, and yes, this will be on day 11th as the flyer goes on the way you see it. I guess you can, it's very visible there. And they're saying it will be October, on the 11th of October, that's 2025. Yes, those who know Shinester where it was, exactly, that's where the address is, 250 Danish crowns. The number to call is also running there, and then you can get more information about it. Yes, that will be part of the celebrations. And to the viewers, yes, the topic of discussion today, it's we're looking at the diaspora influence on the. We're looking at the diaspora influence on. Oh, a minute. We're looking at the diaspora influence. Just a moment. Yes, my brother Eddie Cool had moved, so. Yes, my guest had moved away, but then he's back again. Yes, we're just saying that it's just the independence recap we had some years back, and then the moments where we could see the guest himself here, where I thought he didn't have the right bones, but at least the cervix muscles and then the elbow bones are really doing the needful to make it happen. Yes, Mr. Eddie Cool. First, just a quick one. What's your connection with Madame Kadag? What's your correlation between you and Madame Kadag? Because based on the dance you had, it showed an impact that at least you guys, you know yourselves. Apart from you being Basoga, is there any other political line where you know yourselves?
Can you ask me that?
I think there is a huge internet interception here. Yes, Eddie Cool.
The connection is poor.
Or else, if you're having some,
I don't know.
Yes, but we can go for option B. If you're having an interception there, you can use also your phone, and then you run away from the gadget you're using, and then you go direct with your phone. Probably also it can be of better impact as we come to the wrap of this. Yes, but to the viewers, it's a topic of discussion where we're looking at the.
My network is poor. I think it's my network.
Okay, but then right now, at least you're very solid to us. So I was just wondering, your connection with you and Kadag, based on the groove we're seeing on the dancing floor, apart from you being Basoga, what else was there politically?
Oh, we have a network. We have a network problem. Can you hear me?
Properly, we hear you.
Are you there?
Yes, we hear you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, but I wanted to, yeah, could you ask, can you say that question once again? Because the network was so poor.
Okay, best of the vibe we had, reflecting on the past event where you involved, and we're looking at you busy on the dancing floor with Lady Kadaga. I was just wondering your political alignment with her, apart from you being Basoga and the dancing, which was really creating impact. What else? Do you have any other correlation politically when it comes to her side of politics?
No, Kadaga, she's my sister. When we come to culture, our culture traits, we come from the same lineage. She's a Moisei Gaga and I'm a Moisei Gaga.
Okay.
She's her name in our clan is called Atala Omweru. Atala Omweru. Alitwala Kadaga Atala Omweru. Then, of course, we've been connected for a long period of time and talking about developmental issues, especially about Busoga. And me, I don't care about her politics and NRM and whatsoever. But she's been doing a lot of work for Busoga in particular when it comes to development. And for her, especially the time she was a speaker, she wouldn't care whether you come from whatever region you come from. She would listen and she would act. And she would deal with any problem so long as you were Ugandan. She would assist. For Busoga as a region, some projects that have succeeded in the Busoga government programs, it's because she put her foot down. Singularly, as one person, she fought to get this. I was so much involved. We've been working together so much regarding the culture institutions and some projects in the so
I think the
that
internet
project was to do with using culture as a tool for
development. If it's possible, Bwana Edikul, can you just sign out and then come back again? Because I think we're having some little internet interruption on your side,
and
where I believe probably when you sign in again, it will be a little bit clear. Let me just take you down and then you come back again.
We worked so.
Yes, to the viewers, just a quick one, a reminder, yes, that on the 11th October, we shall be having the Uganda independence celebration. This is courtesy of the Uganda Diaspora Denmark, which is really presenting and organizing this. Those who are relatable to Shine Star, the former Shine Star, apparently is called the Orenvai, 33, that's the address, 33 HBO, which is Copenhagen H, North and and then they're saying that early bird you can pay 250 Danish crowns, and it started already on the 15th of August. And then they go ahead that you can call the number below, and the number I think not clearly visible. But just was a reminder that they're really in pipeline to make it happen. Yes, for those other people who really have anything adverts, please let us know. And then we shall also be running your adverts at any given moment, because we're here to serve you. So please do the needful. Yes, Eddie Cool is back again. And then I was wondering if we can just go straight to what he was trying to air to us. Yes, your correlation between you and Kadaga, and then her contribution. Can you try also to make a quick one on this, Bwana Eddie Cool? Bwana Eddie Cool, just a quick one. And can you try to, you've seen the scuffle between Anita Mong and Lady Kadaga. So what really what you pick from that scuffle? And then again, as you summarize your connection with Lady Kadaga. Sebo, the floor is yours.
I think that is not a scuffle. That is a setup.
Hey!
Museveni plays his politics. Yes, it's a setup. You know? It's a setup. He wanted to humiliate them. That is all. You remember very well, Kadaga refused to stand down during the elections of a Speaker of Parliament.
Oh, yeah.
She defied the odds and she said, no, I'm standing, because she's one person who believes in herself. You know? That I'm standing. Just as Museveni is the president all the time and is the constant number. Museveni is very constant, but others are not going to be constant. So Kadaga is like, if you're constant, why can't also be constant?
Oh, yeah.
You know? Now here comes Anita Mong. Anita Mong, she's very new in NRM. She just came just yesterday.
Yeah.
That is how you see the politics of our people. You can't you just come into a political party and then you rise to the top. There are so many others who are there in NRM who could do that. You know? And they're not happy about it. So he could have talked to them long time ago and tell them, look here, for you a speaker, stay as a speaker, let this lady be here as a vice chairman for Eastern region. After all, to me, on the look of things, this is the last dance for NRM. You know, this is the last dance for NRM. So I don't know why he set them up, Anita Mong and this one, to fight together, because Anita Mong she has a right to stand. She wants it, yes, but what the president did is very wrong. He ring-fenced the position of president, the chairman. It's ring-fenced. The position of deputy chairman is ring-fenced. Now, this other position here, these other positions are not ring-fenced. Why? That's where there's a lacuna.
Oh, yeah.
And by talking to them, as they are saying, I see in the news that is offering them this, is offering them nothing. The reason why Kadaga refused to go down on the speakership job, it was, and I understand, I'm not so sure, I don't want to be quoted, because vice president it's not in the constitution. So she refused. When she refused and they refused on certain issues, I don't know what position she wanted. No, she wanted to be back as a speaker. You know, and the president said, no, I'm not going to be as a speaker. So Museveni used a lot of money and energy. He was very angry with her. I shouldn't be quoted. I shouldn't be quoted. Her looks and so many other things. The guess is out there. Could be a result of that anger, the anger that emanated from the fallout during the elections. You know, why should Kadaga be looking the way she does? People say she's old. She's what? She's a very young girl. She's not old, but there are issues people don't want to talk about. She was poisoned. She's fighting for her life because somebody was very angry. And this we know, it happened to Jacqueline Mbabazi. You know, it happened to Jacqueline Mbabazi when Mbabazi was coming in full force. Said no, the man said, somebody said no, because those are some of the forces that we had at that time that could challenge the status quo.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so Jacqueline Mbabazi was told, hey, stop, go easy. She used to tell off the first lady. She would tell her, you never went to school. What do you want in these meetings? No, these things used to come out. Yes.
Yeah, evident actually that everywhere in the news.
Yes,
and,
even in State House, she would go there and challenge her and tell her, what do you want here? She used to rebuke her. After all, they used to be friends. They used to be together as they were living in Sweden, in Västerås. So, and this poisoning thing has been there in this government for a very long period of time. So many people have been poisoned, and they talk about it. It's there. So Kadaga was poisoned anyway.
Well,
she's fighting for her life, and then comes Anita Mong, who is a newbie into the party. But Anita Mong has also her stand, and which is sound. She's been buying off the opposition. She's been destroying the opposition for the NRM.
For the NRM, yeah.
She's been, and part of her wealth, by the way, comes from that. Museveni gives her money, she gets some of it, she gives to the other people. They divide, and you come in. They give her about 500 million, she'll give the other 200 million, 300 million will be hers. If it's a billion, they could even take 50-50.
So the one to blame is not neither Kadaga nor Anita Mong.
No, I don't blame. I don't blame any of them. They are right. Both ladies are right. I don't blame any of them. And when they say no, I don't blame them. But here is the thing. They are going to tear up NRM. Because Kadaga is not a joke. I'm telling you this. When she says no, it's a no. When she says yes, she means it. And to say this, I'm trying to look at a no vote. If Kadaga does not get the second job, let Museveni forget anything in Busoga.
As stated from the king himself.
And do you know why I'm saying that? Busoga has right now who is there in Busoga who they can say has a higher post in government. By default, Kadaga would stand a chance by default to stay in her position.
That's true, yeah.
For Busoga's sake, if we are talking about sharing the cake. You know? But if she goes, NRM is going in Busoga.
Like the way it was.
People are already talking. Right now, there is some NRM there. Because everywhere there's no NRM in Uganda. NRM are those ones who are eating. The few who are eating. You know? Like the thieves who come up, like the Kitatazi and the others who come up, those ones, the NRM, they don't even understand what is going on. You get it? Yeah, but so this way I would call upon my brothers and sisters in the diasporas to focus. Let us try to have some soul searching. Let's look back. We've been here for years. If we put together how many years we've spent around here, there are so many years that we would have done a great transformation in our societies where we come from. but everybody is like competing with the others. We are competing with ourselves. Whereas if we invested home and said, look here, let's agree on something to do at home, what we can do at home. We can put up a project or projects at home in particular areas of our choice that can be a force. We can employ people. We can give our people a livelihood, but we're not doing that. You know, we are busy just getting the money to our people, which money does not even make an impact. We can't even, this is why we don't have a voice. You get what I mean? We can't even secure import licenses here to import whatever is in our country. We would put up a fight, we as Ugandans, and put up a fight and say, look here, in Uganda, we grow A, B, C, D, and Z. We want them to be imported. We want to eat that food. We as ourselves here in the diasporas.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But we can't even do that, even where we are. You know?
Yeah.
If we could do things like that, then we can empower, we can be a force. But right now, we are a laughing force, a laughing stock. And when I'm in Uganda, I don't want to tell anybody that I'm from the diasporas. No. When I reach there, I want to be a local as usual, just like any other person. Because before, people used to look at the diasporas with a lot of respect and hope. You know? But when you get there, sometimes, apart from many others who reach there and start twisting the tongue, then they say, hey, this one's coming from the diasporas. Oh, okay. For me, I just go and I'm a local one. I'm not from the diasporas. No. You know? So we need to put up a campaign within ourselves. We drum ourselves up to see that we can do something tangible at home. The money we send at home is a lot of money. That money put together can do something. We can start up an establishment which can be of beneficial to the societies where we come from.
Yes, Bwana Edikul, time has never been on our side. We've talked a lot, and the beauty about our broadcast, we own it. I think this is where also we're coming to create an impact, meaning that we shall be having more episodes of this. Look at this as episode 1 to the viewers, but still again, we really highly appreciate those who have been with us online, and to those who've loved our program, still keep in touch, leave the comments. But let's have just a quick commercial and then we come back in full.
Of Uganda is an institute designed to prepare students for rewarding careers in the vibrant hospitality industry. Copenhagen International Institute of Catering and Hotel Management is here to provide a solid foundation for Ugandans in catering, hotel management, knowledge and skills required to excel in various hospitality sectors. Our courses are designed by industry professionals to ensure that students learn from the best to create well-rounded graduates. We offer practical training and internships to students using state-of-the-art equipment which is used all over the world to prepare our learners for jobs both locally and internationally. We are located in Kisasi on Bahai Road, 8.7 kilometers from Kampala city center. Copenhagen International Institute of Catering and Hotel Management.
Yes, and that is it from one of the sponsors we're having for this program, and where we think we shall be doing a lot more episodes of this. And the inclusiveness, what Eddie Cool is saying, it really lines with that let's do something back home, not only financial, but also when it comes to the involvement into the political line of it, it's also quite paramount, because at the end of it all, politics really determines the well-being of the state or the well-being of the society, because it determines the economic bit and then the social aspect. So the fact that when you go to Article 1 of the Ugandan Constitution, Article 1 of the Ugandan Constitution, where it says, where it declares the power belongs to the people and shall be exercised by the people through the regular and free and fair elections. It also aligns well with Article 59, Chapter 1, where it says that the Constitution of Uganda states and provides that every citizen of Uganda who is 18 years of age and older has the right to vote, and it doesn't limit this right to citizens physically present in the country. So in the same line, we the people in the diaspora, we are Ugandans, and then the Ugandan Constitution, just that it's not really respected, but we are entitled to vote wherever we are. There are countries we've seen. Kenya has been voting from their embassy in Uganda. We've seen Rwanda has been doing wonders. They're also, that was 2017 or something like that, 19. They also had their elections and they were voting from Uganda, from their, from their high commissions. So what I'm trying to mean, let the government also know the power of the people in the diaspora, that they're of influential, not only economic world, but also in the line of politics. They can set up very many things because they're exposed. So we would be, at least the government would have utilized at least the bravery of the people who are in the diaspora, at least to create an impact. So they should not be denied the right to vote because it's very affordable. I don't see why we're failing when we're having the high commissions, we're having the embassies, we have the consulates. So it's better they could call these ones as recent as tally voting areas where at least people in the diaspora can also echo their thoughts through a vote. So I'd advocate for the government also to consider the fact that the High Court ruled it well that people in the diaspora are supposed, and it also authorized the Electoral Commission to make this arrangement for people in the prisons in line with the people in the diaspora, at least to contribute in this. But a program like this is only there to create more awareness, and that's why the man at hand was selected to show us the direction where the diaspora can be of value. But then again, we shall be also having other people in the same line. At least we see how the diaspora is of impact to the electoral processes or political line of it. Who knows? We shall also be looking at other areas away from elections, because we've seen the president himself claiming that corruption has knocked his bedroom, because in the State House he has been calling it that he has never seen such a corrupt a State House like his. So diaspora, who is also feeding the people back home, our money should also be felt by raising our voices, because Eddie Cool has some bit of statistics where the people in the diaspora are also creating a big impact when it comes to the budget. But as we come to the end, I would love to have the last parting shots from Eddie Cool, and then we shall be calling it a wrap, and then we shall see what to give you in the next episode. Eddie Cool, back to you, Sebo, as we come to the parting shots.
You've summed up well, though I don't want to agree with you with the issue of advocacy. This is not time for advocating right now. We should fight for our space. We need to fight for our space. We need to fight our space. We need to exert ourselves, because advocacy is not working. It has been tried and it failed. So we should change and fight for our space. Demand. We need to demand, you know. Now, for the issue like voting, the embassies are here. The embassies are everywhere. Could go to embassies, organize, and instead these demonstrations that are made, we go to embassies and demand that we need to vote. We go to the countries where we are and tell them, look here, the elections are going on in my country, but I'm not going to vote. It's my right to vote. And we have an embassy here so that these governments where we are can call the attention of the embassies and tell them, look here, we have a problem here. And which problem can be listened to. So we are not doing the right things and not being really very organized, you know. So we need to do that. And I know we lack direction. But the other problem would be, who is there to lead? We've been failing to lead ourselves into the direction. So right now, I call upon everybody to soul search and see how we do things, how we approach to the situation at home. When we talk about governance, if we have poor governance at home, then development cannot take place. So fellow citizens, fellow diasporans, I call upon you all that try as much as possible to engage into the affairs and activities at home. And these elections that are looming could also be a concern for us to empower our people and tell them exactly what is going on. Tell them, guide them on what to do. They don't know the Constitution. Try and tell them about the Constitution. What does the Constitution say? Of course, His Excellency of No Bobby Wine Chagulanyi has done a very commendable job by calling upon the youth and everybody, telling them that, look here, you can engage into politics. Everybody can participate in the direction of their affairs. And we need to recommend him for that. We need to recommend him for that. So we need to emphasize and work with some political forces that are developmental, that are of hope. You know, we want some politicians who are of hope, not politicians who think to them is all about politics, and that's the business for them. But we work to those who can change the course of the status quo. Let's try and align with the positive politicians, you know. And the issue of saying that get Museveni out of power, yes, Museveni can get out of power and is going to go. After all, time has it that as you look at him right now, he's tired, he's in his evenings, he needs to rest. He also needs to enjoy his family. He needs to be with his grandchildren. I know he's not going to come again after these elections. But if he doesn't stand again after these elections and we're not prepared to take over, there's nobody to take over the government, what happens? So we need to prepare ourselves and also be part of the system, you know, not criticize it, but let's be part of them. Try and show direction. We must be part of the problem and get it solved.
We must be part of the problem. And we must be part of the problem. Nobody is going to
change it for us if we don't participate. Nobody is going to do it for us. Yes, we need to be part of it.
Yes, we must be part of the problem, as Mr. Eddie Kula said.
And we need to contribute in whatever.
Yes, for the viewers,
Yes.
Like I said, time has
We
never
must
been on our
accept
side.
that.
Time has never been on our side,
Yeah.
and like he has
And
stated it.
And I don't know if hello.
I hear you well. Just give your last something you're stating, because I'm running short of time.
We should do everything positive to promote Uganda. I want to repeat this. Whatever promotes Uganda, we should do it. We should not sell our country negatively all the time. When we do projects that market Uganda, especially things like tourism, it will be very good for us. It benefits our people. And I want to repeat this. We should refrain from negatively promoting our country. We should fight so much to deal with. Thank you so much for hosting me. Sorry about the connections that have been poor. I hope we'll have better connection next time. And I'm looking forward to further engagements so that we could also be part of the problem. Bye. Thank you so much for hosting me, and bye-bye.
Well, it was, those are the words from the wise man. And we really do appreciate your words of wisdom. And the echo words you've really, you've summarized in promoting our country positively. And then you advocating us to be inclusive in, making an impact. And mostly when it comes to our topic of discussion, which was you really, summarized in mostly when it comes to the area of discussion where we're looking at the diaspora influence in Ugandan elections. I think with time we shall also change the election, and then we'll look at other areas, because there are different areas we're going to be trying to see how we can be involved into uplifting our country. But like you said, let's promote our country positively, because at the end of it all, it's our country. We have one country, and that is Uganda. But away from that, I would love to appreciate those who have been with us online, and then we really do appreciate. And those who are coming in late, yes, it's just the diaspora influence into Ugandan elections. But keep on sharing and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Afroden Reports, and then again go to a Facebook page. Try to also do the subscription. Try to also like and then follow us on also Facebook. But your comments also, we do a lot of, inclusiveness in this topic of discussion. By you involving yourself in this discussion, you're also creating an impact back home, because there are very many people who are going to be listening to this. We shall be having very many encounters of such topics, probably every Saturday. And we shall be creating more awareness, more and more. But today it has been a wrap, hoping that next Saturday or soon we shall be letting you know, but we shall deal with the involvement of the people in the diaspora on the social media platforms. And then we see how best we can also take that direction. How best can the people in the diaspora utilize social media so that they can create an impact or create an influence or create also civic education into the natives back home or our own people back home. So let's be positive, and for now, allow us to say goodbye. It has been a topic of discussion, which is the diaspora influence on the Ugandan elections. We shall be having more segments of this, but thank you, and thank you very much. And for our guest, yes, Bwana Eddie Cool, indeed, we do appreciate your involvement into this. And then our guests, please, a big thank you for being with us every time whenever we come live. But as for now, I say, aka Smoggy, your host today on the Afroden Reports, both YouTube, where I recommend please go subscribe, and then follow us also on Facebook, and then we shall also be having other clips on our Instagram, and then also the other side of TikTok. For now, allow me to say goodbye, and we meet into other intros. Bye-bye, and we meet again into other encounters.
Okwebazangako yakuyamba munange nakukwata ku mukono nakuyimsa. Okwebazangako yakuyamba baba nabako wakutuza. Lero nzize kwebaza oba nkuyite kusiima eri abalina emitima egirumirirwa. Okwebazangako yakuyamba baba nabako wakutuza. Ekigambo okuyamba tokizanyisa bangi babeera n'obusobozi n'ekibalema okukola.